Hello. Yeah, let's get started. So in lab 2, we are going to use the Wireshark and analyze the Wi-Fi tracing file. So we have two tasks, task 1 and task 2 here. So in task 1, we are going to download the file, which is in here. Just simply click this link. And then you get a file in here. And simply open it with Wireshark. So that's the task 1. We need to firstly apply a filter. So you may need to have a check the steps in here. You need to go from step 1 to step 5. But before we do it, let's have a look. What kind of trace file is this? So it's a pre-collected Wi-Fi trace file. And it should be something like this. In this kind of scenario, we have our device, which is in here, and we have opened the monitor mode with our network interface, which means we can capture all the packets around us. For example, if we have a Wi-Fi access point here in the left-hand side, and we have 3 clients connected with the Wi-Fi access point. But our devices is not connected with the Wi-Fi access point because we are in the monitor mode. So we are not connected with any other devices. So we just stand in here and we can sniff all the packets in the air. So we can sniff the packet 1 and packet 2 and put it into the table in here like this. So all these kind of packets, so each row is a single packet, is this kind of stuff. So it's from a client to the access point or from the access point to the client. So there's no traffic between our device to the outside. Okay, so in here, so you can see here, we can see the source IP and the destination IP in here. So for example, this one should be a Apple device. And this one is a Netgear, could be a router. So in the first step, we are going to load the trace file, and the second step, we are going to apply a filter because we only care about the access point COMP4336. So you can find the information in the right-hand side in the information here. Can you see that? The SSID. SSID. So we only want these kind of packets. So how can we apply a filter in here? We just choose this packet at first, and then we come to here. Wi-Fi information. tagged parameter, I reckon, in here. So you can see we can find the value is in here. So we just find the value at first, SSID, and right click it and apply as a filter in here. So we can apply this filter. After this, we will filter all the necessary information we need like this. So you can see all the packets related to this SSID is in this table right now. And you may also need to add the column as we mentioned in here in step 3. We need to add signal strength, noise level, and SNR columns to the display. So I have already done it. So what if you don't know how to do it? Let me remove this column at first. For example, we want to apply the signal strength into the table. What should we do? We should come to the signal strength in here and find it and right click it, apply as a column in here. So that's how we apply a new column in here, and you can drag it if you want. So that's the information we need in the table. And in the next step, step 4, we need to export and save it into a CSV file. So it's in file as CSV, packet decisions, and save it as CSV files. Okay, so after this, then we can open it. Oh, sorry, some error here. Okay, so now it should be like this. So after you get this table, then we can use Python or Excel to plot it. For example, in here, I want to plot the signal strength, right? And probably with time and noise, time, signal strength. Let me just create a new table here. And I will use the data to fix space. And we don't need this to add and finish. So that's the signal strength. And then we can use whatever the tool you want to plot this one. For example, in here, I can simply use the Excel to do that. So we will have this kind of signal strength, but try to apply the x-axis with the time. So in here, I just simply use the amount. I didn't plot the time in the x-axis, as you can see here. So I want you to discover by yourself, but now you got the idea in here. So why this pattern looks like this? I think you can have a look of the reason here in the red background. So firstly, the mobile phone and the laptop has connected like with very close distance, and then it slowly move away, and then it moves back and move away and back. So that's the reason why the signal strength looks like this. And we can also use the Python to do the plot. Let me show it to you. I have already write the code in here. So you can see it's the similar stuff. So with the Python, you can use the pandas. Firstly, you need to CSV file with pandas, and then we print it out. You can see just simply read it, and then we can apply a filter, apply a function that can convert str to float. So in this step, I create a new column. I call it df, signal strength ss. In here, as you can see, what have I done is I convert this one to -26. So the only difference in here is just I delete the dBm, right? So I deleted the unit and convert it into a float in here. And then I can use the plot. So the x-axis is the time and y-axis is the signal strength. And the kind is line. You can also use scatter if you want. So that's all we need. So it's 1, 2, 3 lines to plot this one. And you can also do the same thing to the noise level and signal to noise ratio. You can do it by yourself. So finally, we will have 3 different graphs in your report. So that's what we need to do in task 1. I will also upload this file, this code, into the GitHub link. Let me send the link first. So that's the task 1. Do you have any questions? So if you have time, try to do it right now. And we are going to the task 2 right now. For the task 2 is pretty like straightforward because it's exactly the same thing as task 1, but this time we need to capture the file by ourselves. So we are going to use the Wireshark. Otherwise, we are going to use the Network Monitor 3.4 if you are using the Windows. So if you are using the Windows in here, just like me, firstly, I need to use my mobile phone to create a hotspot. So just go to the setting, and there are something called personal hotspot, right? And before you do it, please change your name, which is the SSID, to your ZID. So you need to change the name of SSID to your ZID at first, and then create the personal hotspot, and then use your computer to connect it with it. So that's the first step. You need to do it by yourself. And then the second step, if you are using the Windows, then you use the Microsoft Network Monitor, and then select the Wi-Fi here, and you can stop to capture. Just create a new capture and click start. Then you can see some packets in here, and you can like carry your mobile phone. You can carry your mobile phone, and then like walk away and walk back, as we mentioned here. So you need to walk around, like move it away slowly from the laptop to a distance location, and then slowly bring it back. Okay, so the pattern should quite similar as this one. So firstly, it's pretty close. The signal strength is high, and it will keep decreasing because you are moving away. And then it will like increase back again because you are back. So you should have this curve in your pattern. Okay, so that's basically all we need to do. For example, we have already done it. So I just stop here and output save as, right? Save as the lab2 demo. And then we can use the Wireshark to do this task again. So use the Wireshark, open the file. So this one, we need to delete the filter first. So you can see in here with my own desktop, because I am using the Windows, you can see like most of the packet doesn't have the signal strength and noise level and signal to noise ratio. In here, I only can see a few signal strengths here. So what should I do? I need to figure out what is my IP address at first, right? So my IP address is, you can use the command like ipconfig in here. So I can know my IP address is this one, 1.10. So I can apply a filter. So ip.src equal to my oops, this one. So it doesn't have any signal strength, right? Because if the source IP is mine, I should not be able to detect the signal strength, right? Because we are sending, not receiving. So we should change this one to the destination DST. So when we receive the packet, we should be able to detect what is the signal strength we have. So remember to apply a filter in the destination. But if you can apply the filter like related to the SSID, that would be better. But because I'm using the Windows, as you can see here, I am not able to see any SSID in here. So I apply the IP filter. And you can also see that there is no noise level and signal to noise ratio. That's pretty normal because in this kind of mode, there's no noise level and signal to noise ratio. If we want to capture these two information, probably we need to run a Linux or Mac OS to get it. So if you are using Windows, this is okay that you cannot capture the noise level and signal to noise ratio. Just mention this thing in your report. Yeah, so that's basically the thing we may have because we are using the Windows. The interface doesn't allow us to assess the noise level and signal to noise ratio. So don't worry too much if you don't have it. But if you are using a Linux, for example, the Raspberry Pi or Arduino, or you are using the Mac OS, then you may be able to get this kind of information. But if you don't worry too much in task 2, just mention that in your report. But make sure you have the signal strength, okay? For example, I have my signal strength here, and I just output as a CSV file, as we did. Sorry, let me try to save it in somewhere. And then we can open it like as we did this one. So we just do the same thing. We can run the code again and get a result. Yeah, here's the code. We just changed the name. So it's lab demo app. As you can see, mine is like this because I am like sitting here and I didn't move away. So you can see the noise ratio, no, the signal strength is quite stable, like fluctuating between 53 to 51. So that's it. So try to discover this by yourself. And this is the task 2. So finally, we come to the submission. In task 1, you just submit the PDF report. Then you should have 3 graphs and a paragraph about your observation. And for the task 2, you need to show the Wireshark screenshot and 3 graphs as well, just like we did in task 1. And of course, the observation. So you don't need to write a like very long paragraph, just write out the thing you have. So a very important hint is in here at the top in this red area. So you need to explain, why do we have this kind of pattern? Why do we have this kind of pattern? And you can figure out the reason by reading this paragraph in here. And also explain what is the noise level stuff and what is the ratio change. But basically they are like have quite similar pattern as this one. And yeah, that's all we have for the lab 2. And you also need to submit the zip file, including the CSV and the trace file. So do remember, like include everything we need. Do not miss anything in here. So strictly following the the rule here. Yes, and I think that's all for the lab 2. If you have any question, just let me know. In here, just try to do it right now, so I can help you if you have any trouble. And feel free to share your screen. And the one last thing I want to mention here is the GitHub link. As mentioned before, I will put like the useful information in here. And I will write down the lab 2 section today. And also I will update the week 2 quiz review guide. So last week I provide a useful tool that can help you to solve one of the question in the quiz. I thought it's like quite hard for last week because there are lots of calculation, but too less time to do that. So yeah, just let me know if you have any trouble and what kind of like help do you want. So from here, I just want to share the link, this one. So you can come here at Thursday night and check out if I have any updates for your quiz. And of course, don't remember to do your labs. We have the due in next week. So submit your lab before the due. And yeah, that's all I can do. So from here, I will stop the recording and feel free to share your screen right now.